By the time the sun came up, I'd already peeled 6 pounds of potatoes, burned my wrist twice, and been ignored 3 times at 6:03 a.m., and I'm already elbow-deep in Yukon Golds. The potato peeler scrapes in rhythm with the hum of the fridge and the occasional yawn I try to stifle. My hands are pruny from soaking, and I can't remember the last time I actually sat down with a hot cup of coffee and just existed. Another Thanksgiving. Another year I volunteered to host, which, if we're being honest, is the family's polite way of saying, "Monica will handle it." I never actually say yes. I just don't say no. And that's enough for them. The turkey's been thawing since Monday. I set 5 alarms just to make sure I got it into the oven on time. By 7:30, I'll be prepping stuffing, 3 side dishes, 2 pies. And the gravy my father-in-law insists is never quite like Mom used to make. Course not. His mom had 4 sisters and no job. I have a full-time career, a teenager, a husband who thinks reheating counts as cooking, and a golden retriever who's already waiting for something to drop on the floor. This is my 5th year hosting. Last year, they brought folding chairs and attitudes. The year before that, my sister-in-law brought store-bought rolls and took home half the pie I baked for her kids. No one offered to clean. No one asked if I even like hosting. They just showed up. Hungry. They always assume I'll do it. That I'll fill the fridge, iron the tablecloth, remember everyone's food allergies, and smile while doing it. And I do. Because someone has to. Because I'm the responsible one. The planner. The glue. But sometimes glue gets tired of holding broken things together. I peel another potato and toss it into the bowl with a small thud. One of the few sounds in this house that acknowledges my effort. The sun hasn't even risen, but my to-do list already feels like a full day. I glance at the sticky note on the fridge, my scribbled checklist, and let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. Welcome to Thanksgiving at Monica's. The one-woman restaurant, emotional therapist, and invisible backbone of a family that rarely says thank you. And it's not even breakfast yet. By 7:15 a.m., the turkey's on its second baste, and the kitchen already smells like an apology letter from Butter and Herbs. My wrists ache from chopping celery for the stuffing, and the onions had their way with my tear ducts. I've cried less during funerals. I check the oven, lower the heat just a smidge, and mentally run through the next 50 steps. Mash potatoes, prep green beans, start the pies, make sure the rolls defrost evenly, because uneven rolls are apparently a mood killer, according to my brother. Must be hard being so delicate. My teenage daughter, Ava, strolls into the kitchen, hair perfectly unbothered, phone in hand, thumbs moving at Olympic speed. She pauses just long enough to ask, "Is there anything to eat?" Blink. She's standing 2 feet from a fridge full of food that will become today's feast. I gesture vaguely toward the fruit bowl, and she sighs like I asked her to hunt it herself. She takes an apple and disappears into the living room, where I can already hear a TikTok video playing on full volume. Meanwhile, my husband pops in just long enough to open the fridge, stare blankly and say, "Wow, looks like you've got everything under control. Let me know if you need help." Translation: I will not be helping unless something catches fire or directly interrupts my football game. I don't answer. I just keep whisking. The pie crust almost tears as I transfer it to the dish, but I catch it in time. Disaster number 1. Avoided. Disaster number 2 nearly strikes when I grab the wrong spice jar and almost sprinkle paprika into the apple pie. I chuckle under my breath. Would have added some kick, I guess. While rolling dough, I think about my mom. She used to host Thanksgiving every year, apron tied like armor, lipstick bold, hands always busy. As a kid, I thought she loved it. I thought hosting meant power and grace. I thought it meant people respected you. Now I realize she was tired. Probably more tired than I am right now. But she never showed it. She made it look effortless. I used to want to be just like her. And now I am. Except something's different. When she walked into a room, people paused. When she cooked, people raved. When she spoke, people listened. I don't even get eye contact. The stuffing's in the pan now, the pies are chilling, and the turkey is finally starting to look like something Martha Stewart wouldn't sue over. I open the dishwasher to find it full of clean dishes that no one thought to put away. Classic. It's strange how much I do that no one sees. The napkins are folded. The playlist is cued. The wine is chilling at the perfect angle in the fridge. I even found the fancy serving spoons, the ones that only come out when people who judge you are present. And yet I know what's coming. By 4 p.m., everyone will be patting themselves on the back for how we pulled it off. Someone will joke about how it takes a village, while balancing a full plate that I assembled and refilled. And they won't even see me. I'm the invisible hand stirring the gravy, setting the mood, keeping the peace. The problem with being dependable is that people start treating you like furniture. Useful, steady, and entirely taken for granted. But still I press on. Because someone has to. It's 2:11 p.m. when the first car pulls into the driveway. 13 minutes early. Because, of course, people who never help are always early for the part they don't have to work for. The doorbell rings once, then twice, then 3 times in rapid succession. My sister-in-law Chelsea doesn't believe in knocking. She enters homes like she's hosting a real estate showing. She sachets in wearing 4-inch heels and a dress too nice for gravy. Not a dish, not a tray, not even a store-bought pie in sight. Just a designer handbag swinging on her arm like a wrecking ball. "Monica!" she sings, air-kissing the side of my head while I'm elbow-deep in turkey juice. Smells festive in here. Festive. That's code for over-seasoned, I assume. "I didn't know what to bring, so I figured I'd just show up with good energy," she says, laughing like it's charming and not insulting. She floats into the living room, where Ava is now half asleep on the couch, and promptly starts commenting on the throw pillows like she's rating my home decor. Next comes my brother Jake, carrying a plastic grocery bag with 2 bottles of mid-tier wine and the air of someone who expects applause. "I come bearing gifts," he says with a dramatic bow. "Only the finest from the gas station on 5th. He laughs. "No one else does." "Just set them on the counter," I mutter, basting the turkey while keeping my eye on the rapidly approaching chaos. Then, like a storm cloud with a driver's license, my father-in-law trudges in, already shaking his head. "You burned the stuffing again, huh?" he says without even a hello. "It's not burnt. That's sage and caramelized onion," I say, forcing a smile. He sniffs dramatically. "Oomph. Your mother never put onions in hers. She said it made people gassy." Lovely. That's the kind of holiday commentary I was missing. One by one, the rest of them arrive. My cousin Beth brings her 2 toddlers and no warning, who immediately start playing with the crystal napkin rings I carefully arranged. My husband's aunt waves vaguely in my direction and disappears toward the wine. People begin wandering through the kitchen, touching things, offering loud and unhelpful suggestions. "Do you have any real butter? Ooh, are you using canned cranberries? You don't have any gluten-free options." I'm still standing by the oven, basting like it's an Olympic sport, wondering if anyone even noticed that I haven't sat down since 6 a.m. My hair's a mess, my shirt's stained, and my Fitbit buzzes to remind me to drink water like that's a luxury I have time for. They're all here, milling around, sipping wine, taking selfies in my living room like they're the guests of honor. And I'm still in the kitchen, just like always. By 4:07 p.m. everything is ready. The turkey has that perfect golden brown crisp you only get with obsessive basting and prayer. The stuffing smells like autumn wrapped in love. The pies are resting on the counter like show dogs awaiting their ribbon. Call everyone to the table. No one hears me the first time. Or maybe they do, but are too busy comparing fantasy football scores or asking where to charge their phones. The second time I raise my voice, cheerfully of course, and wave a serving spoon like a white flag. Dinner's ready. They shuffle in, plates already in hand, forming a buffet line in my kitchen like it's a hotel brunch. No one waits. No one offers to serve me first. Not even a pause to let me sit. My husband loads up his plate with enough mashed potatoes to suffocate a small child. Chelsea takes only vegetables, loudly announcing she's being good today, and then sneaks a forkful of mac and cheese when she thinks no one's watching. Jake pours gravy like it's water, and my father-in-law pokes at the stuffing again, suspicious of the onions he already complained about 3 times. I hover at the edge, still managing refills, swapping out empty serving bowls, wiping spills, and answering a chorus of questions that sound polite but aren't. Do you have almond milk for the coffee? This turkey's moist, did you brine it? Oh, you didn't. Huh. Did you forget the deviled eggs this year? I didn't forget. I stopped making them because no one eats them. But sure, let's go with forgot. I finally sit down with my plate, lukewarm now, at the very end of the table next to Ava, who's already asking if she can leave and FaceTime her friend. The room is filled with chewing. Forks clink, glasses clatter. But the one sound that's missing. Thank you. No one says it. Not out loud. Not with any weight. A few muttered mms and one, this is decent, from the cousin who thinks ranch dressing counts as a personality trait. It's funny. Actually no, it's sad. How a person can spend days preparing something and become invisible the moment it's consumed. I glance around. No one's really talking to me. They're talking at each other. Telling stories I've heard every year. Laughing too loudly at mediocre jokes. The same dynamics, the same attention-hungry voices. But I'm not part of it. I refill the kids' plates, wiping gravy from a chin and recutting turkey for someone who doesn't like chewy parts. I get up twice to grab things from the kitchen. No one notices I'm gone or that I return. I might as well be a waitress. Scratch that. A good waitress gets tips and eye contact. I catch my reflection in the microwave. Tired eyes, sauce-stained shirt. Hair pinned up with a clip that's slipping. I don't look festive. I look faded. And underneath it all, past the exhaustion, past the polite smile, I feel it. A low simmer. Quiet anger. Not rage. That would be louder. This is something else. Something dull and slow-burning. The kind that builds over years of being the reliable one. The one who just does what needs to be done. The one they assume will always say yes. Maybe this is what my mother felt all those years, smiling through tight jaws and aching feet while people complimented the cranberry sauce but never the hands that made it. They eat. They laugh. They drink the wine my brother didn't even uncork himself. And I sit there in my own home, surrounded by people who don't really see me. They're full. I'm empty. And dinner isn't even over. By the time I finally get to fix my own plate, the turkey's gone cold, the stuffing's been scraped to crumbs, and someone's already eaten the crust off the pecan pie. But I take what's left. Some dark meat, a spoonful of green beans, a small sliver of mashed potatoes that survived the feeding frenzy, and I hold it like a trophy. It's the only plate I haven't had to fill for someone else. I walk toward the dining room, scanning the long table where everyone's already mid-conversation, mid-sip, mid-second helpings. There's laughter. Clinking glasses. Someone's passing around a phone showing a video of a cat falling off a counter. I smile faintly, then scan for an empty seat. There's one. At the far end of the table, a chair is taken hostage by Chelsea's oversized designer purse. A seat that's technically open, but practically unavailable. I pause, hovering behind it, plate in hand. That's when Chelsea spots me. Oh, she chirps, standing slightly. Not enough to be helpful, just enough to be performative. We thought you'd be more comfortable at the kids' table. Blink. She points behind her, toward the short folding table I set up in the corner for Ava, the toddlers, and a couple of tweens who are currently arguing over who gets the last dinner roll. It's closer to the kitchen, she adds like she's offering a courtesy. You know, easier for you. Someone laughs. A few others join in, not cruelly, just casually. Thoughtlessly. Like it's funny that the woman who cooked the entire meal would be seated next to a child who just wiped their nose on the tablecloth. I look at the purse. Then at the table. No one moves it. No one shifts their chair. No one says, wait, let her sit here. They just keep eating. My husband glances up, gives me a half smile, then goes back to carving more turkey for his father. So I turn. I walk to the kids' table. I sit on the short, wobbly metal chair, knees practically hitting my chin, surrounded by little elbows and spilled cranberry sauce. Ava doesn't even look up. A toddler drops a spoon on the floor and giggles. Take a bite. Tastes like nothing. I've never felt smaller. And yet, no one seems to notice. I sit at the kids' table, legs cramped, plate balanced on my knee, pretending I'm not on the verge of either crying or flipping the entire folding table over. Across from me, Ava scrolls through her phone, earbuds in one ear. A 6-year-old is using mashed potatoes as finger paint, and someone just spilled apple juice near my foot. No one notices. No one cares. I chew slowly, methodically. The green beans I hand-trimmed taste fine, but I can barely taste anything over the metallic swirl in my chest. Half embarrassment, half anger. Then, in the middle of a particularly loud shriek from one of the toddlers, something inside me just clicks. This isn't about the kids' table. It's about every table I've been pushed to. My birthday dinners where no one asked what I wanted to eat. The Mother's Days I spent cooking for everyone else. The family vacations I planned top to bottom while everyone else complained about the itinerary. All those group texts that somehow made decisions without me. All those times I was expected to give and give. My time, my effort, my home, my sanity, without a single thank you that wasn't mumbled or sarcastic. They call me the glue. But even glue cracks when it dries out. I look over at the main table. They're laughing about something Jake said. Probably another recycled joke about veganism or airport security. My husband is refilling drinks like he's the host. No one looks my way. No one even seems to remember who made the food they're now on third helpings of. A voice inside me, steady, calm, newly awake, says, if this is what family is, maybe I've been giving too much of myself to the wrong people. And there it is. The truth I didn't want to name. It's not a breakdown. It's not rage. Just clarity. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I finish my plate in silence. Not because I'm enjoying it, but because I know it's the last meal I'll ever serve this way. Not again. After the meal, the usual post-feast shuffle begins. Chairs scrape. Plates clink. People start drifting back toward the kitchen. Hands full of half-finished wine and the expectation of Tupperware containers magically appearing. Chelsea is the first to say it. Do you have any leftovers I can take home? That stuffing was actually decent this year. Jake chimes in, already eyeing the pie. Yeah, I was hoping to snag some turkey for lunch tomorrow. And maybe a slice of... Oh, I interrupt, with the brightest smile I've worn all day. I didn't make any extra this year. A few confused looks ripple around the room. What do you mean? Jake laughs like I'm joking. I mean what I said, I reply cheerfully. I made exactly what we needed. No extras, no second batches, no backup casseroles in the garage fridge. I just kept it simple this year. No one knows what to say. I turn and begin wrapping a small plate. Just enough turkey, a little bit of each side, and the very last slice of pecan pie. I slide it into my own glass container, seal the lid, and tuck it into my tote bag. Then I untie my apron slowly, fold it neatly, and place it on the counter. Ava looks up from her phone. Where are you going? I smile gently. I'm heading over to Candace's for dessert. She invited me weeks ago, just a few of us moms. Wine, pie, a quiet kitchen with people who actually sit down and talk to each other. Someone drops a fork behind me. I figured, I continue, since the dishes are mostly yours this year, I'd let you all finish up together. They freeze. All of them. Chelsea with her half-drunk seltzer. Jake still holding his empty plate. My husband's mouth slightly open like a sitcom dad caught without a punchline. No one moves to stop me. I grab my coat, slip it on, and head for the door. No yelling. No big speech. Just the sound of stunned silence behind me. And honestly, that's the sweetest part of the whole meal. Candace's house is warm. Not just from the cinnamon candles or the heater that actually works, but from the people inside it. It's a handful of women, some I know well, some just in passing, but all of them see me. I mean really see me. Not as the organizer or the cook or the fixer, but as a person. Woman. Someone with a name and a voice and a chair pulled out just for her. We drink wine. good wine, the kind that makes your shoulders drop an inch, and laugh over 2 sweet pie and funny mom stories. No one asks me to clear a plate. No one critiques the crust. No one needs anything from me except my company. I feel something I haven't felt in years. Lighter. I laugh without forcing it. Talk without editing. And when I get home that night to a kitchen piled with dishes and silence, I don't feel guilty. Feel free. A year later, it's mid-September when I hit book on a flight to Italy. Florence, to be exact. A tiny villa that offers a cooking class, local wine tours, and, ironically, the chance to learn how to make fresh pasta from scratch. Except this time I'm not making it for anyone. I'm making it for the joy of it. The group text comes in early November. Family group chat. Hey, who's hosting this year? We figured it's probably Monica again. I stare at it for a full minute, sipping coffee on my patio, suitcase already half-packed. Then I type. Not me. I'll be having wine in Tuscany. Y'all enjoy the turkey. I don't wait for the replies. I already know what they'll be. Mild confusion, a joke from Jake, maybe even some last-minute scramble. But for once, it's not my problem. A week later, I'm eating truffle pasta under soft golden lights with strangers who feel kinder than most of my family. I watch the sunset over the Italian countryside and think about all the years I gave and gave, hoping someone would say thank you, hoping someone would offer me a seat at the real table. No. I make my own table, pour my own wine. I eat while the food is still hot, and I laugh with people who look me in the eye. Funny how I was never missed until I left. And even funnier, I don't miss them at all.